Okay, so I just very quickly want to recap some of the information that hopefully you've learned. Firstly, there are 5 steps in the production of every single style of spirit that are common to all the styles of spirit. So whether you're making Scotch whiskey, whether you're making bourbon, whether you're making tequila or rum, there are 5 steps in the process of production. Firstly, the selection of the raw material. So make sure you know why the distiller wants to choose a particular raw material in order to make their spirit. Next, processing of that raw material. The distiller needs to make a sugary liquid before they can then move on to fermentation. So make sure you understand how the distiller extracts the sugar from the raw material in order to create that sugary liquid. Once the distiller has their sugary liquid, they can then move on to fermentation. So make sure you understand that, the different options that the distiller has available to them for fermentation. Once fermentation is done, we have an alcoholic liquid. We can then move on to distillation. And distillation is the big one. Lots of different information here. Again, make sure you understand all the different choices that a distiller can make that influence style and, of course, quality during the distillation process. Finally, the distiller has a number of options available to them post-distillation in order to create further style characteristics and further levels of quality in their spirit. So make sure you've got a good understanding of what these post-distillation operations are. Mostly it comes down to maturation, typically in oak, in order to create further congeners, further flavour in the spirit. But also you've got the addition of colour, the addition of sugar, and the addition of other flavouring components as well. Go back through your books and make sure you've got a good understanding of all the different options that the distiller has available to them. Once you've got a handle on those 5 different or those 5 steps in production, then start thinking about all the different labelling terms that are associated with the different spirits. VSOP, for example, used for cognac, as is XO and VS. With tequila, you've got Reposado, you've got Añejo, for example. With whiskey, you've got malt whiskies, you've got grain whiskies. Make sure you've got a good understanding of the different labelling terms that are very often used for these particular spirits. And then finally, make sure you've got a good idea of what all these different spirits taste like. There isn't a tasting component to the level 2 exam, but it's still really important that you understand what the spirits look, smell and taste like, and what the typical and associated quality levels are with spirits and the particular category of spirit that you're working with as well. So if you haven't tasted any of the spirits already, then make sure you go through and you taste some of them in order to get an understanding of what these spirits actually are like. If you're not able to taste, and I appreciate not everybody is, of course I've posted some tasting notes. Go through and have a look at those. Otherwise, I just wanted to say good luck in your exams, and I very much hope that it all goes well. Cheers.